Hey everybody, we're gonna run through a quick clutch tune here today. Just give you a few ideas what we do when we go through a clutch rebuild or clean. This one's obviously brand new, so not gonna be exactly dirty, but I mean we got a 15 millimeter right here for socket for the secondary, and you can rebuild your clutch just pulling this cover off if you want to. You know, you can take all these 10 millimeters out and take this, what is it, 13/16, take that off, and you pull that cover off and clean your weights and just put a new spring in if you want to, but it's easier just to pull the whole thing off. Alright, had to go get my socket. 13/16, got a 1/2 inch impact. That works sometimes. Just pull that up. I still have the belt on. It's actually easier just to leave the belt on. I'll show you what I do. So yeah, again, if you just take the cover off, you could do that right now, and then just instead of buying a puller like this, I'd recommend just getting a puller. That's the best way to do it. A little easier. Pops off. With the belt still on, you can just slide it off like that. Then you can pull your belt off. And then for the secondary, just got to break her loose. This one was tight. And then 15, 3/8 drive, just blast. So you just want to make sure you get your spacers and don't lose those. Put those right back on right away. We're over here now. Again, this is a 2022 XCR Matryx, or Matryx XCR. 600, 136 inch track. And we're just gonna rip open this clutch quick. I gotta rebuild it anyway, so do a quick tutorial. This is a good time to be cleaning clutches. Get them ready. I mean, if you have any bog or any lack of performance, just switching your primary spring, putting a Venom steel spring in there, it'll wake it right up. It's definitely evident that springs are usually almost the #1 cause of just lack of performance. So that just pops off. Then you got your weights in here. You want to rip those off too and clean them all up real good. And take isopropyl alcohol, really blow it all out good. You could probably take your weights out first before you do that though. And clean up your sheaves. You can use some Scotch-Brite blue, green, or just use a paper towel with isopropyl alcohol. Maybe some light sandpaper, scuff them up. And just take your weights out and clean your weights up real good and make sure they flop down nice and free, and then you know you're good. Basically do this before every single race. All right, I'm back here. Got the weights back in. I took them out, cleaned them really good, slapped them back in. Time to put it back together and put it back on the sled. We got a Venom 165 through 27 right here. You could go stiffer if you wanted, like a 180. That'd give you a little bit higher R's on engagement, and then otherwise, you know, the stiffer you go, the more likely it's probably going to break. So that's why the 165 through 27 is super good for ditch. You could use it on ice too, but works good anywhere really like that. Let's put it back together. I'm just going to put you on the ground here. Show you. It's a little easier on the ground. You get a little more leverage. Make sure the X's are lined up. Not advised really to use an impact ever on a primary, but it's a lot faster. So. As long as you don't dug them down super tough and super hard, then it'll be okay. Like that. Back that one. All right, I gotta find my speed tool quick here. I got a certain way I like to do it. Be right back. All right, to torque these puppies, it's like 10 foot-pounds or less. You don't want to go very much, so I use this actually. I think Charlie does his own little method too, but this is how I like to do it. Just make sure they're all down good and tight, and then I grab it like so, put a knee on it, and then just torque it down, go like skip one. The first time, like you're doing head bolts, just so you start to tighten them down equal. And just, this is kind of a Danny Rev's 10 foot-pounds, I guess. Don't want it to be too tight, because like if you impact them down, then you could, you know, possibly blow up a clutch if they're too tight. So take your time, I guess. I'm really particular, I make sure they are exactly the same pressure. All right, let's go slap them on the sled. Gonna use a torque wrench and the sidekick, the trusty sidekick. So slip your sidekick through the bottom down here. You'll see why in a second. And then just slip your clutch right on. The reason I put the sidekick in there is because you want to stop your primary from moving when you're torquing it back down. So anything a little bar would work too, but I just grab whatever I can find. Sidekick was the most available. I don't think I'm going to do a secondary tonight, but if you guys want to see a secondary done, I will definitely do one soon, or Charlie will. We are at 80 pounds here. You could do 70 to 80. I don't like them slipping on the primary. They pop off a little bit harder, but at least you know it's going to be on. So there's a primary upgrade, basically. Just put a different spring in, a brand new one, and I would recommend everybody do that once a year. Venom Products. Thanks. See you next time.